So anyway, so the recap. So JC has a listing gone live in Ogden. Trevor's got a listing under contract with a buy side offer in place. Charles took a listing appointment. He had a condo listed. Neighbor called, asked about it, and then boom, he's got a listing appointment with the neighbor. That's pretty awesome. Let's talk about struggles and questions. If you don't have any, I'm going to talk about a few things that are coming up. Okay. One is we have the cold directory. So, for example, if you sell a listing like that, let's get on the phone, right? Let's start calling neighbors. There's another website if you don't want to call with, and again, all the things we've tried. Mailing is good, but calling is best, right? Calling is always the best. It's the highest rate of return by far than any other marketing there is. Mail comes in second, but it's like, a fraction of what the phone can do. So just keep that in mind, that there's no greater return than making phone calls. So with a Kohl's directory, so let's say Charles, for example, had that condo, put a condo under contract, and then a neighbor called. So what if you pulled up a list? What if we had a list of his, got phone numbers, and you just called them up? If you don't want to make phone calls, the second best thing to making phone calls is with our call directory, we can actually give you cell phone numbers. And you're not going to get everyone, but you'll get a good portion of them where you could start texting people. Hey, we sold a condo. We sold a place in your complex. Who do you know? Our marketing has generated a lot of activity. We need, we're looking for somebody else that's selling in your complex. Who do you know? Type thing. But calling is the best. You guys just got to get your head around the idea that you got to call somebody. You just have to call somebody, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're in sales, and the best way to get sales is direct sales. Now, marketing works, but also marketing costs money. So if you have more time than money, well, that's a no-brainer what you should be doing. And we can give you phone numbers, emails, and cell phone numbers. Now, again, you're not going to get 100% of all the names, phone numbers, and emails and cell phones, but you'll get enough. And then there's a website, there's a product called Sly Broadcast, SLY Broadcast, where you can upload a list of cell phone numbers, right? A list of cell phone numbers, and then you can create a voicemail, and it will leave them a message. It won't, in other words, it's not something where they answer the phone and you're talking to them. This is where it actually leaves them a voicemail. Their phone doesn't ring. They just get a voice message. So you can create a voice message and then just say, hey, my name's Rob. We just sold a condo in your complex, and geez, all our marketing, we generated, a lot of interest in there. We have more buyers that are looking in there. So if you know of anybody that's thinking of selling, please call me right away. We got buyers for you. So anyway, that's something that's a voicemail you could drop on, and they're fairly inexpensive if you look. So Slide Broadcast, I think if you buy 5,000 at a time, they're 4 cents a piece, right? So 4 cents, and it leaves everybody a message. So let's see, Slide Broadcast. Let me bring up the website here. So if you're looking on the screen, you can see the pricing. Yeah, 5,000. No, I'm sorry, 5,000 is $225, which is so it comes out to be $225 divided by 5,000 is 4.5 cents a voicemail. And if you buy 10, and that's pay as you go. Then there's monthly programs where you get 6,000 for $250, so which comes out to be 250 divided by 6,000. That's 4.1 cents. So, that's pretty good, Where, and then if you can do a 2,000, whatever that comes up at 100 divided by 2,000. So that's a nickel a piece. So you could, for a nickel, so for $100 a month, you can lay out 200 or 2,000 voicemails a month, or you can just do the pay as you go. The pay as you go, 5,000, 2.25, you get 4.5 cents. And then when that runs out, you just get another 5,000. But what a way to do it. I mean, think about that. Think about how you could use that. Because we could supply you with phone numbers. We have that. Amy's going to, we're working on that today, how to look them up and that kind of stuff. The user interface has changed dramatically over time. So we're going to get that figured out. We're actually going to put a form online we're going to where you'll log in, and we'll give you coordinates, and then you put in an address, or you can put in coordinates. It will give you a choice of either one, and then we'll pull a list for you. Now, if you want just a mailing list, that's different than the COLE. The COLE is about phone numbers. Mailing list is about county record, where we would go in the county recorder's office and get you all the owners, because the owners may not live in that particular property. So that's the fundamental difference with COLE. So if you're doing the COLE numbers, they're giving you the names, phone numbers, emails, and cell phones in that geographic area, where if the owner lives somewhere else, they may not show up in that report. So that's one of the fundamental differences. But if you want addresses to do a mailing list, and if you're going to do a mailing list, you can't be messing around with anything under 500 units. I mean, that's just the reality of it. If you're doing under 500 units, you're kind of wasting your time. You really are. So, I mean, now let me qualify that. That's a cold mail, right? So a cold mail is a just listed, just sold, that type of stuff. But like your SOI, if you only got 80 or 100, that's fine. These are people that know you, that you're constantly keeping in touch with. That's a big difference. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing cheaper than getting a list from me and start dialing for dollars. Dialing for dollars. So there's a couple other things that are coming up. One is I'm going to have a new program coming up. I'm going to send out an email. And this is not for the faint of heart, and this won't work for everybody. But this is a program where we will talk every day. You and I will talk every day for 5 minutes. Now, it's only going to be for a handful of people. I can't do the whole office, obviously, but it's 5 minutes, and it's going to be super high accountability, super high accountability. So, Robin said she's trying to re-enter. Let's see. All right, there we go. I didn't. So super high accountability. There's a Mike Ferry coaching program that's a group call. I think you could put 10 agents on there at one time. Is your powerful partner recruiting system, office production training system. There we go. So this program is for 10 people, right? It's designed for, and it's $17.50 a month. That's $175 a month per agent. But this is a weekly call with a Mike Ferry coach. Now, I'm going to strongly encourage this, too, because one of the things I've learned and that I've known for a long time is that when you're not paying, it's not as impactful, right? I mean, so when you pay for it, in other words, if you make the commitment to pay money, then you're going to do more of what's being told of you. Now, I'm not saying some of you aren't doing that, but it's just a reality. I know it for a fact. So I personally have signed up for Mike Ferry Coaching, where I have a one-on-one coach, and I pay $650 a month. They have two programs, $650 a month for one-on-one coaching, but then they have $1,000 a month. I haven't really looked at the $1,000 a month yet because, the $1,000 a month gives you access to all their events. And I'm thinking for $350 a month, that's $4,200 a year, access to the events. I think that it may be cheaper to go a la carte. But the point is, I've hired a coach. I've been without a coach for a little while, but this one here, I'm going to talk to you guys about this $175 a month thing, where you guys will be in 10 agents in a group call, where the Mike Ferry office will be walking you through it. Then with the other one there, it's only going to be a handful of people. I thought about charging money to make it that much more of a commitment level, but I would donate the money to charity. just to keep it so it's not a freebie. And it's not that I don't want to give it to you for free. I know for a fact when you pay money, you commit yourself at a higher level. Now, that program there is going to be a phone call every day. We're going to talk about who are you talking to, and we're going to talk about all your leads, specifically talk about your leads and who they are, exactly who they are, and it's going to be 5 days a week. We may have to miss a day here and there, but it's going to be. So the story was that we got from Mike Ferry. He had an agent that signed up. Now, he charged the agent $6,500 to do that for 6 months. So it's a little over $1,000 a month for him to call this agent. Now, but she went from doing 9 deals in 1 year to 49 deals in 6 months. So the idea is, so my thoughts are, if I can get, say, 4 or 5 of you and then get you up to a high level, and then do another 6 months of 4 or 5 new agents, and then the first 4 or 5 would go and they would be productive agent, on steroids, where they would be in an accountability group where they would talk to each other every day, but they would only be those agents that have graduated through that course, so that they would have a higher accountability level. So, because the other one is, so once they've graduated that 6 months, then they can have their alumni, if you will be able to be in the program together. Any thoughts or questions on these programs that I'm talking about? How do you feel about some of this stuff? Nobody? Oh, see, I got a text message. Robbie, is your screen sharing turned off? I don't think so. Oh, I had the wrong screen on, Mary. So if all you saw were the participation bubbles, then you saw my wrong screen. So I apologize for that. So anyway, here's the Mike Ferry. So this was the slide broadcast where I was going through prices with you. Here's the Mike Ferry weekly call in a group session. Now, this would be just our office. This wouldn't be other agents. This would be just our office. How many people might have an interest in this?
This is Dave. I would.
I'm sorry?
This is Dave. I would.
Yeah, I think this is a very good value.
This is Charles. I'm thinking I would.
Yeah, Charles says 2. Now, the rest of you, again, unless you got too many leads, too many listings, too much money, you should all be on this. Seriously, unless you're in coaching. Like Renee's in Mike Ferry one-on-one coaching. So Renee Morley's in one-on-one coaching. The Fiscos are in Mike Ferry one-on-one coaching. I look at this as a catalyst to get you some deals going to where you can eventually get into one-on-one coaching. I believe in one-on-one coaching so much that I joined it. In other words, I've only been, for a while I went without a coach, but I found myself hitting a ceiling where, okay, I need a coach again. Coaching is where it's at. Now the coaching I do for you is good, right? It's every other week. It's not weekly. The other thing is about the coaching that I do for you, I call it the Aunt Millie system, right? It's like if any of you have children, you tell your children the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and then they go visit Aunt Millie for the day, and then Aunt Millie tells them the same thing you've been telling them since you were blue in the face, and then they come home with this unbelievably new and enlightened information from their cool Aunt Millie. Okay? But you're sitting there going, are you kidding me? I've been pounding my head against the wall telling you this information. But you can't say that to your children. Obviously, you just have to just smile and be grateful that your children learned this information at some point in their life. So to me, when you join into this type of coaching, the $175 a month coaching, and remember, this is a weekly call, the $175 a month coaching, that this is Aunt Millie. This is my Aunt Millie. I'm sending you to spend a day with Aunt Millie. so that's what I believe this is, and it's with my hopes that you would progress and then actually move into Mike Ferry one-on-one coaching. Because I'm here to tell you that if you the higher the stakes, the higher you play the game. I mean, that's just a reality. If you raise your stakes, you're going to make more money. It's just that simple. So anyway, so I don't have much more time. Like I said, I have a meeting downtown at 10 o'clock. So like I said in the beginning, this is going to be a short call. So let me know. Send me an email for those that are interested. Send me an email, Charles and David. I'd love to see 10 of us on there. I mean, we really can't do it without 10. So if we get 9, we'll have to increase everybody to come up with the other $175. So, okay? All right, I got to go, guys.
Have a good day.